Welcome to the Mindset Mile podcast, the show that'll leave you empowered to take action towards becoming the turned up version of your already awesome self. I'm your host, Aisha Zaza, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's go. Hello, fam, and welcome back to the show. I have a good-sized lineup today for things I want to share with you to help you reduce stress in your life. So I'm going to cut straight to the chase and get right to it. We live in a really fast-paced world filled with tons of distractions, and I feel like so many of the things we partake in take our attention away from being productive, from focusing on what's important to you, and creating windows of opportunity to fill our own cups. Now, I know there are so many factors that contribute to stress, and many of them are out of our control. So these suggestions are not intended to minimize some of the real and heavy stressors that people have in their lives, but rather I want to give you tools to learn how to manage and reduce that stress. Because stress zaps your energy. So I feel like so often when we are carrying around a bunch of extra mental weight, the last thing we feel like doing or we feel like we have time to do is to help ourselves. But stress is a very slippery slope that can lead to so many physical and mental health issues. So I hope by bringing some of these seemingly simple and obvious tips to the surface that you can find yourself a little lighter with stress. So first thing is exercise. I debated even including this as one of my tips because I feel like it's beating a dead horse and we hear it everywhere. Exercise, exercise, exercise. And you're like, I get it. But there's a reason why exercise is listed as a stress reducer. And there are so many studies that show how just 30 minutes a day of physical exercise, even so much as a walk, helps reduce perceived stress and anxiety. When we are stressed, it takes a physical toll on our bodies. So I know it can feel impossible to find energy to move when it feels like you're running on empty, which is why you can't leave it up to how you feel in the moment, whether you get out the door and on that walk. You really have to know that you're doing it for the feeling you will get afterwards. And I know it seems counterintuitive, but when we move our bodies, it generates energy. There's never been a time that I've worked out or went on a walk when I didn't feel like it and didn't feel like 10 times better after. It's because your body releases endorphins when you exercise that put you in a state of feeling good. And I think the most important thing to remember here is that consistency trumps intensity every time. Doing something is going to be better than doing nothing when you're stressed. So if you need some accountability, I want to encourage you to pick up my 30-day Mindset Mile challenge and use the first 30 episodes of this podcast as a way to track your consistency by getting out for a walk or run for 1 mile a day for 30 days. You won't feel like doing it every day, but at the end of the 30 days, that kind of consistency, let me tell you, if you don't feel better and less stressed, come find me. Okay, my second tip is to organize your space. You've heard me talk about this before, but believe it or not, when our personal space is messy, that can lead to stress or anxiety. Disorganization is an outward reflection of the chaos within us. And when we see it, it reminds us of the imbalance in our lives. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Well, sometimes I leave a mess in the kitchen or dishes in the sink, or I don't pick up the living room before I leave for work. I'm not saying here that your house needs to be pristine and perfect every day. I completely understand that if everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. And it can often feel like everything needs to be a priority when we are searching for ways to become our best selves. Like, okay, I've got to make time for this and this and this. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something small consistently, and letting that breed motivation and inspiration to tap into other ways that you can improve your mental and physical health. So although I know you already have so much on your plate, if organization and tidiness is something you struggle with, at the end of every day, set a 10 or 15-minute timer and do as much as you can to clean up in that time. You'll be surprised what a concentrated 10 minutes of cleanup can do for your home and your brain. Or if there's a small project you've been putting off, put down the hammer and just do it. Small and silly example here, but I know you probably feel me. When our stuff or junk drawer starts to get crowded and messy, it stresses me out every time I open that thing to get tape or a pen or batteries or scissors. And mind you, this is a drawer I see multiple times a day, and I've definitely let it go before where it just gets out of hand. Yet I'm reminded of it 5 times a day. And every time I see it, it reminds me of something that is just dangling on that never ending to-do list. So stop what you're doing, take 15 to 20 minutes, get some organizational bins, throw away what you don't need, organize things by groups or categories, and see how much better you feel 5 to 10 times a day when you open that dang drawer. Hey guys, my new sponsor, Get the Tea, is having their annual summer sale, which is perfect because it's just in time for Father's Day. Have you thought about what kind of gift you'd like to give your dad this year? Why not think about a gift that would help with his digestion? Life Change Tea is an amazing, gentle cleanse that he can use daily for gut health, and who doesn't need that? I know I do. I drink it every day. It comes in 3 different flavors: natural, peppermint, and pomegranate, and they're made with a combination of 12 herbs that help the digestive system and gut health. Life Change Tea has been around since 2007, helping thousands of people with their gut health. It's made right here in the USA. It's easy to brew and perfect to keep in your fridge to drink daily. It's summertime, and I love having a big, refreshing glass of iced tea. That's why I choose to drink Life Change Tea. Right now, they're having a big summer sale, which means when you buy 3, you get 1 free. Yes, buy 3 and get 1 free. Go to getthetea.com/Zaza to order yours today. And exclusively for my listeners, use code ZAZA10, that's ZAZA 10, to get an additional $10 off plus free shipping. That's over a $50 savings. So go to getthetea.com/Zaza and use code ZAZA10 for $10 off plus free shipping. Don't miss out. Did you know over 97% of women ages 19 to 50 are not getting enough vitamin D from their diet, and 95% are not getting their recommended daily intake of key omega-3s? Ritual's Essential for Women 18 and Up multivitamin was formulated by exhaustive research to help fill nutrient gaps in the diets of women 18 and over. It's formulated with nutrients to help support brain health, bone health, blood health, and provide antioxidant support. But Ritual didn't stop there. They invested in a university-led clinical trial to prove the impact of Essential for Women 18 and Up multivitamin, and the results showed an increase of vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in 12 weeks. Ritual is committed to third-party testing, traceable and vegan-friendly ingredients, and always clear communication. No shady stuff. Right now, Ritual is offering my listeners 10% off your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/mindsetmile and turn healthy habits into a ritual. That's 10% off at ritual.com/mindsetmile. Okay, my third tip is to set the mood for your environment and the time of day you're in. I've found that it's honestly the really small things that elevate an everyday experience for me and make me feel calm and relaxed. After my daughter goes to bed, I spend 5 to 10 minutes cleaning up the kitchen after dinner, and I put her toys in the living room back in her storage baskets. And then I light a few candles on my fireplace mantle and coffee table, and I dim the lights so that they aren't at the brightest anymore. Or on days where I do a full shower, where I wash and blow dry my hair, I like to light a candle in the bathroom, and I'll grab my phone and just put on some music. Those things they make me feel so happy. They make me feel like the time is being spent intentionally. And also another example is after I put her down, I'll go into my room and close the curtains, even if it's still a little bit light out. And I'll turn on my bedside lamp and I'll refill the diffuser with water and some drops of lavender essential oil in it. That way, when I come into our bedroom to go to bed, the space is already set with a tone that invites a restful sleep. These are very small things, but they are some of the best forms of self-care. And maybe you already do similar things that bring you joy, but think of the things that you do frequently and often, and think about how you can elevate the experience by doing something small to the space that makes it feel intentional and a little special. My fourth tip is to spend more time outdoors. This can obviously be coupled with exercise depending on time of year, where you live, or if you're able to get out for some movement. But even on days where you can't exercise or it's a rest day, take a 15-minute walk, go listen to your favorite podcast, or better yet, go without a device and just listen to the sounds around you. How often do we ever get to do that? Or obviously, if you have access to outdoor landscapes for a hike, go on a hike, go to the beach, or lay out at your pool. Or whether you work remote or not, plan to eat lunch outside. It's amazing what a little bit of fresh air and sunshine can do. Nature is so powerful, and there's a reason why people feel recharged after they take some time to unplug and go camping or plan trips to see the wonders of this amazing earth. But it doesn't need to be so planned or grandiose to make an impact. It's shown that time spent outdoors lowers blood pressure and reduces the stress-related hormones cortisol and adrenaline. So get outside every day, whether it's for 15 minutes or if you're out for a big long run or walk or hike, just get outside. My fifth piece of advice is to avoid procrastinating. So many of the things that weigh us down mentally are things we put off doing. And there's a number of psychological reasons why we procrastinate, but there are many things that we avoid doing simply because we don't like doing them, or we've made up a story about how much we need to prepare for the task, how much energy it'll take, etc. Take my example of cleaning out the junk drawer. Why didn't I just do it sooner? Why do I let it drive me crazy? Well, because it's a somewhat tedious task. It always feels like it can be put on the it can wait list. And as much as I wanted the drawer to be organized, I really just didn't want to do it. How many things do we put off that fall into these categories? A lot. One helpful thing I've implemented is putting one of the annoying, cumbersome tasks at the top of my to-do list every day. You may have heard this as eating the frog, where if it's your job to eat a frog every day, you might as well do it first thing in the morning. It means getting the thing you want to do the least out of the way. And as much as you dread doing it, it sure does feel good to move on to the rest of your day and the rest of your list after eating the frog. So there are my 5 tips to help reduce stress. Exercise, organize your space, set the tone, spend more time outdoors, and avoid procrastination. I'm curious to know which you'll start to implement first. Let me know on Instagram by tagging me in your stories or sending me a DM. I love hearing from you. I can't wait to see you next week. And until then, make it a great day.